Hi, everybody, and welcome to week 3 or episode 3 of Ingenious in 15. This week we are with Amy Cooper. She is a first grade teacher at Wintergreen Primary, and we're going to be talking about QR codes in the classroom. So, welcome, Amy.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your classroom.
I have 22 students, first grade at Wintergreen Primary. As most of you know, it's a big school. So we have 11 first grades with all about the same. So it's a huge population. I'm very fortunate to be in the Impact Ventures. So I do have a class set of tablets, not iPads, but tablets that I can use in the classroom as well.
Cool. So we're just going to jump right in. For those of us who might not be familiar with what a QR code is, can you give us a little bit of information about what they are and how they work?
Sure. Let me show you, because I'm a visual person. Let me show you a big one. So here's the big one, and QR codes are basically like UPC labels. You're scanning them at the grocery store. You're scanning those UPC labels, but instead of getting a price, you're getting a set of data, and that data may be a website, or it may be an article or something that you want your students to interact with and read.
Okay, so they have to have something to scan them with.
They do. You have to have a device to scan with, but just because you may not be a school that has one-to-one, it's not something you can't do just because you don't have one-to-one. It could be, okay, well, let the student use the teacher tablet or a cell phone. It could be a Chromebook. It could be something that you only have a few access to, or some that you could check out from the library.
And I just real quick want to mention there is a Chrome extension that you can add to Chromebooks, and I'll be sharing that in the comments to the video as well as on our Facebook page. So if you don't have access to iPads or any other kind of tablet, they can be added to Chromebook, and you just scan it with your webcam.
Mm-hmm.
So how easy are they to make? Is this something that, requires a login or a special subscription?
No, in fact, these are something that you can do within 5 minutes, maybe less. So if you have your target where you want your kids to go, whether it's a website or a link to a piece of a text on EBSCOhost, you just really copy the link and you glue it into, or copy and paste into one of the QR code generators, and there it is. It's right there. I will caution you though, if you're using a video or something from YouTube, there are a lot of instructional videos there. I always use SafeShare first, so copy and paste that link into SafeShare, because that's going to block all of your ads and anything inappropriate that might pop up. I mean, we don't want to see an underwear ad showing up on a tablet. So the SafeShare link, that would be what you would copy into the QR code. But literally 5 minutes. It's very, very quick.
All right, so SafeShare, just to clarify, SafeShare is another website.
Right.
So we'd find the YouTube video, get that link, paste that into the SafeShare TV website, and then that's the link that's generated that we're going to make our code from.
Right. But that's only for YouTube videos. And the cool thing about the QR codes is, you have Google, that they can go to Google, but for younger students, they're not really great at navigating Google, isolating, okay, well, what is a good resource and what is a not good resource? So with the QR codes, you are sending them straight to the resource, straight to that one place where you really want them to go.
Yeah, well, and even for high school, I mean, it's a time saver.
Right.
It's a big time saver because, it's a scan and they're there.
Right.
So easy to create, free to create, correct?
Free, yes.
Free, yes.
For free.
We don't have to pay for them. How easy is it for students to use?
It's so simple. So I might put this on my board or around the room. I may print several of them, and students pull up their app, which is also free, that's on their device, and then they're going to scan it and it will take it right there. So, I mean, it's literally all they have to know how to do is to hold up their tablet or device and let it click. I mean, super easy.
Okay. So give us some examples of how you use these with your kids.
All right. So with the students, like I showed you guys earlier, I have some that I've created, just like this one was one on dental health. And so there's 3 different websites that they wanted to, or that I wanted them to go to. One of them was on like a dental health cartoon, but it had a lot of valuable information. The other one was a website from a dentist, and then the other one was a shared reading. So it was just an additional resource to kind of go around along with our dental health.
So is this something they did independently in centers, at their desks?
So that's a great question. So, you know, I'm like everybody else. You get to the end of a topic and you're like, man, I wish I would have had time to do this. Mm-hmm. And so this gives you an opportunity to do it. Just because you weren't able to cover every single thing or use every single resource that you wanted to, you can put this in a center. You can put it in an independent work time. I've also used it with Genius Hour and given students choices because, you know, at the end of the day, the kids are going to be more invested if they have choice. So for me, the QR codes have been about choice. They've given me, maybe I gave them a topic that to study. Let's just say, for example, animals. And I said, okay, well, what kind of animals would you like to learn about? Well, obviously, I can't go get 22 different books out of the library on 22 different animals. I could,
right?
But they may not all be there. But this gives them the opportunity. I find 22 little websites or 22 videos on different animals, and they can scan it and choose. So it's a great opportunity to cover content that you may not have gotten to, or resources, and giving them choice, getting them motivated.
Absolutely. Choice is big. All right. So what are some other ways you use them?
I did use them at the beginning of the year with my students. I made this little magnet. So the QR code on the magnet is for the parents. So that's a link to my website.
Oh, cool.
So they just put that on the refrigerator, and then if they want to find out what's going on because they lost the link to the website, they can go scan it. And it also has student projects and pictures and stuff like that on there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you got a whole stack here. Tell us some more.
Yeah. So like we were talking about famous African Americans, and we actually focused on Olympians because we had done the Olympics the week before. So we focused on some different African American Olympians, and the students were able to pick which one they wanted to learn about. So we guided them and said, oh, there's so many amazing athletes. So you guys choose which one you want to learn about. And so that's, again, student choice.
Bringing in choice.
But it was directed. This is what we're going to learn about. But it was directed.
And so the student, you just had different resources for different people?
We did. So we had one for Jesse Owens is one I have up here. We had one for Jackie Robinson for the baseball. So there was a lot of stuff up there, not just Olympic athletes, but we looked at other athletes as well. We have one we just finished up a unit in the environment and reducing, reusing, recycling. And so those were our main standards, but going beyond, I wanted the students to learn a bigger picture about saving the earth, water, electricity, saving all that kind of stuff. Even though that was not in our set standard, I wanted to broaden their horizon. Right. So I'm giving them more choices again.
Cool. And so you've used the QR code to get parents to your website. Any other ways that you've used them to get the parents involved?
Other than that, we've used it with Seesaw, which Heather had mentioned in the first one. There is a QR code for the Seesaw per class page. So the students, for one of them, they were doing research on animals. So they did the research on animals, and then they had to present a project to the class about the animal that they had studied. So they came and put that in the Seesaw, scanning the Seesaw app in order to get in. And then you can share that with the parents as well.
Cool. So how do you feel like using the QR codes in the classroom has impacted student learning?
Again, honestly, it comes down to student choice. If they are, kids are naturally curious and they want to learn, and we don't ever want to squash that, but we are constricted by our time, our standards. So this is a way to give them the freedom to learn what they want to learn, but within a perimeter, within a guided area, so they're not going wild off of tangents or anything like that.
Cool. So in the future, how are you planning on continuing or expanding your use of QR codes?
I definitely want to have them more in guided practice and in center time, just because, my ultimate goal during center time is independent work, but my goal is I want them reading. I want them buddy reading. I want them communicating with others. So I would like to give them the opportunity. You can use it with Listening Center. You can put the book up there. But then collaborating, and working on student projects together by using the resources they've gotten from the QR codes.
Cool. So just some ideas that I have seen other teachers or through various social media platforms. And my favorite QR code generator is qrstuff.com, which I shared with you last week. It's free, and I'll pull it up before we're finished here today. But what I like about QR Stuff is that you can color code. And so a lot of teachers will use QR codes to differentiate within their centers. So if they have differentiated tasks. Okay, so you're in the purple group, you're going to scan the purple code and get either your directions, your resources. Because you can download the QR code and you don't have to put it on just a sheet by itself like this. I can embed it onto a worksheet or a learning sheet. So if it is during center time, or if I know that I'm going to assign something, but I'm going to be working with a small group at my desk, I can do a 2-minute tutorial or a review or something, slap that video on YouTube real quick, get my link, and they can scan it if they need that help.
Right. And I've done it with, I've also done it with, when we were talking about Christmas around the world, there was a particular country that I wanted to learn about. So I had the QR code on the comprehension question, so they would scan it, and then they had it right there with the questions that they needed to answer.
Oh, cool. So embedding it right in, so they have it when they need it, which is nice.
Right.
All right. So real quick, I'm going to share my screen with you. And we're going to go to qrstuff.com. This is what it looks like. So you have all of these different data types that your QR code can link to. Mostly, you're probably going to be using the website URL or the YouTube. So you would just type it in here. Let's say we're going to do pittschools.org. Notice this automatically changed over here. This is where I can change my color, and it'll change the color of the QR code. So again, for differentiation, for different groups, different students. And then I just click download code. You can join. I've used this daily. I always just say no thanks. And then your code downloads here. You can open it and print it just as is, or I can now insert this file into Google Docs or anything that that I would want to share with the students. So,
and make them pretty.
Absolutely. Everybody loves pretty stuff. All right. Are we coming back? There we are. All right. So that's everything that I wanted to talk about. Thank you all for joining us today. We will not have an episode next week because it is spring break.
Woohoo!
Yay! We almost made it. We're almost there.
One more day.
One more day. But I have got some amazing teachers lined up for after spring break. So be sure to join us. Like our Facebook page. It is facebook.com/PCS Digital Learning. The links always get posted up there. Follow me on Twitter @BoucherLauren. And then check your email for info because we'll send out the link for the videos each week there. Thank you and enjoy your spring break. We're almost there. Bye.